You're at the beach with a friend. Same sun, same sand, same afternoon. But by sunset, one of you is bright red. The other barely looks different. And suddenly, a simple question feels strangely personal. Why does human skin react so differently to the same sunlight? Why are some people very dark, some very light, and millions of people somewhere in between? At first it looks like just color, but it's not. Your skin color is more like a travel diary. A diary written by sunlight, migration, genes, survival, and time. And the story begins long before sunscreen, long before cities, long before passports. It begins under a powerful sun. So what is skin color really? It is not paint. It is not a label. It is not a simple switch. It mostly comes from a pigment called melanin. Melanin is made inside special skin cells called melanocytes. But here's the interesting part. People with very different skin tones can have a similar number of melanocytes. The difference is often how much melanin they make, what kind of melanin they make, and how that melanin is packed and spread through the skin. Think of melanin like tiny umbrellas. Some skin has more umbrellas, some has fewer. Some umbrellas are darker, some are arranged differently, and their job is not decoration. Their job is protection. But protection from what? That brings us to the real main character of this story, ultraviolet light. Imagine early humans living near the equator. The sun is intense. The days are bright. The UV radiation is strong. UV light can help the body, but too much of it can damage skin cells. It can damage DNA. It can also break down folate. Folate is a B vitamin that matters for healthy cell growth and reproduction. So in places with strong sunlight, darker skin had an advantage. More melanin meant better protection. Not perfect protection, but useful protection. It worked like a natural sunscreen. Over many generations, people living under intense UV tended to have darker skin. Not because dark skin was better everywhere, because it worked well in that environment. But then another question appears. If melanin is so useful, why didn't everyone become very dark? The answer is where the story gets more surprising. Because sunlight is dangerous, but sunlight is also necessary. Your body needs sunlight to make vitamin D. Vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium. It supports bones. It supports other body systems too. But there is a catch. The UVB part of sunlight has to reach the skin. If you live far from the equator, sunlight is weaker. The sun sits lower in the sky. Winters are longer. UVB becomes harder to get. Now imagine a group of humans moving north. Less UV. Colder seasons. More clothing. Less direct sun on skin. In that environment, very dark skin could block too much UVB. So over many generations, lighter skin could become helpful. It allowed more UVB to enter the skin. That made vitamin D production easier. So skin color became a balancing act. Too much UV? You need protection. Too little UV? You need access. Human skin color is not random. It is a compromise between shielding sunlight and using sunlight. And this balance changed as humans moved around the planet. Now picture human history as footsteps across a giant map. Small groups move out of Africa. They follow coastlines. They cross mountains. They enter forests, deserts, islands, and icy plains. Each place has a different sun. Not just more sun or less sun, different seasons, different cloud cover, different altitude, different diets, different clothing, and skin color did not change overnight. A person does not move north and suddenly become lighter. Evolution works across generations. Tiny genetic differences become more common when they help people survive and have children. But the map is not perfect, because humans do not stay still. People migrate, people mix, cultures change, diets change, clothing changes, cities rise. That is why skin color does not form clean boxes. It forms gradients, soft transitions along human spectrum. And then comes the twist most people never hear. Skin color is not controlled by one gene. Not even close. Two people can have similar skin tones for different genetic reasons. For example, lighter skin in Europe and lighter skin in East Asia did not happen through exactly the same genetic path. Different populations can arrive at similar-looking traits through different genetic routes. Nature often solves the same problem in more than one way, and Africa itself has huge skin color diversity. That matters, because people often imagine human skin color as a simple line, dark to light, Africa to Europe, one direction, one story. But the real story is messier, older, wider, more interesting. Skin color is influenced by many genes. Some affect melanin production. Some affect melanin types. Some affect how pigment is stored. Some affect how it moves into nearby skin cells. So when someone looks at skin and thinks they understand ancestry, biology, or identity, they are seeing only the surface, literally. So what is solid science here? We know melanin helps protect against UV radiation. We know darker skin is generally more common in high UV regions. We know lighter skin is generally more common in lower UV regions. We know vitamin D production helped shape this story. We know folate protection likely mattered too. But what is still being studied? The exact timing of every skin color change. The exact role of every gene. How diet, culture, and clothing change the pressure on skin. And what the skin tone of very ancient human ancestors looked like. Science is not a single final sentence. It is a careful conversation with evidence. So here is what we should not say. We should not say skin color creates separate kinds of humans. It does not. We should not say skin color tells you someone's full history. It cannot. And we should not say one skin color is more advanced. That idea is not science. It is prejudice wearing a lab coat. The real science says something much more beautiful. Our differences are adaptations. They are records of where our ancestors lived, how much sun they faced, how they moved, how they survived. So the next time you see different skin tones in a subway car, or in a classroom, or in your own family, you are not looking at separate categories. You are looking at human history. You are looking at sunlight turned into biology. You are looking at ancient journeys still visible today. One person's skin may tell a story of strong equatorial sun. Another may carry clues from long winters and low UV. Another may hold a mixture of many migrations. And none of those stories are simple. That is what makes them humans. Skin color became one of the first things people noticed. But it is one of the worst ways to understand who someone is, because beneath the surface, we are deeply connected. Different shades, same species, shared ancestors, one long story under the same sun. So here's the question I want to leave you with. If your skin could tell the story of every journey your ancestors took, what do you think it would say? Tell me in the comments. And if you like everyday questions with surprisingly deep answers, follow for the next one.